Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Today I'm on location here at Millbridge Launch Park, and it's not really a destination for nature photography or anything of that sort, but it is a pretty good little spot for maybe some birding action and hopefully some other kind of, other non-bird nature-related photographs. We're going to see here for the day. I don't really know what to expect, but it's nice and early morning. There's lots of just frost layering everything because it's pretty cold and frigid for this almost pretty close to spring day here. But I'm hearing lots of bird song, of course, just all around me. Different woodpeckers, crows, red-winged blackbirds are finally back for the season, which is really cool. And I'm watching the sunrise right now over here. If you actually see behind me, starting to really peer up over top of those trees right there. So I'm thinking something with maybe a landscape composition, if I can think of something. Since this is, as the name suggests, a launch park, it's actually a really popular drop-off location to start for canoeing and kayaking. So you can see I'm going to come over here to the Little Miami River. So yeah, I really don't know what to expect, honestly. It's a very, very small park, just because it is simply meant really for, its main purpose is for that canoeing, launch right here, this little gravel thing where you just kind of launch off there. And so yeah, there's not many hiking trails. There is a very, very small portion that's over here, just kind of situated along here. It's just a really, really small loop. So yeah, this is gonna be a nice short morning visit, and we're gonna see really what maybe we can come up with here. But yeah, there's some ideas I have already, just hanging out here for a moment or two right now, seeing just how the light's really playing on all these different trees. They're still bare, of course, because it is it's not really spring fully yet. There isn't really foliage on the trees yet, at least on the deciduous trees, of course. So that's probably gonna be a few more weeks from now. And yeah, so yeah, go ahead and get started. I'm just kind of gonna wander, honestly, and just see how the light plays out. But yeah, the sun's really getting over top of those trees over there in the horizon line. So I'm gonna see if I can maybe figure out something with that, and finagle a little photo or something that's worthwhile to take. And yeah, it's been quite big. Plus the mist is rising over top of the river as well, which is pretty cool. So anyways, yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So I think I'm going to settle upon something already. Potential composition I'm really thinking of right now is, at least, excuse the traffic above the bridge here, that I'm literally standing underneath. But yeah, I'm thinking something with the rolling mist that's over top of the river here. Could be something really cool, potential photograph there. I'm not really too sure yet what I'm going to do. It might be something more in a kind of an artful, abstract sense. But right now I have my 50mm prime lens attached to my camera, and I'm not sure how long these conditions are going to last, obviously because the sun is rising higher and higher in the sky, and as it warms up the water and everything, I'm not sure how long these conditions are really going to just stick around here. So yeah, it looks like it's already pushing kind of farther away. It used to be right up towards here, right where I'm standing, but it looks like it's being pushed farther and farther back. And so yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna try out something here. It might be kind of like a long exposure abstract hybrid. It's kind of what I'm thinking at the moment. But it looks like I'm gonna have to go further down now, just because it is looks like moving away from me. So, but I'm gonna try out something here. I really don't know the results. It's gonna be a little bit more experimental for me, I think. But you know, yeah, we'll just see what happens. That's the whole point of these videos in the series, is that, you know, go to new places and try new things. So I'm going to obviously do that here. So you're going to try it here, and let me see what I can do. And then if I get a couple shots worth talking about, then I'll talk you through camera settings and all that such. So yeah, I'll be right back. So just when I was about ready to honestly give up on this shot, this potential composition and subject matter I had in mind here, I was trying it from just facing towards the sun with my camera lens and everything. So it just creates this really harsh light casting on there, because I thought that would be kind of better, because if it was backlighting all this mist that I'm seeing over here on the river that's just moving and flowing along, I thought it'd be better, but it's honestly, it's not. And the shots I took were just, quite frankly, kind of terrible. And there's just, it's almost like too simple, even though I just, you know, talked about, you know, I always talk about really with my work is, you know, create simplified images. But it just didn't really look quite the look, the aesthetic, I guess, I was going for with them. And they're almost just too boring. You know, nothing was really going on in them. And I wasn't too, quite frankly, interested in you know, making those images. So I made a couple of them, and they'll probably never see the light of day. No pun intended, just because they simply suck pretty bad, I think. But anyways, the good news is I came over to the other side, over on the other side of the bridge here, facing away. So now it's got this gorgeous front light all over this, this mist here. I'm casting on the mist over here as it's outflowing away from me, the river it is. And so I switched out to my 75-300 small telephoto lens, just because I really want to get real cropped and tight in there, and make a really nice tightly framed image here. And so I'm actually at the farthest range, about 250-300 millimeters, zoomed way out, because the mist is not really up front and center where I am right here, at least right now. It's all the way back away from me, quite a distance. So the good thing about using a zoom lens in this case is that I can pick apart those details. And in this case, where it's not really feasible to be going through, you know, wading through the river here, I guess I could, but not really feeling it and quite prepared for it, I guess. So in those instances where you physically can't move to the spot or the destination in mind, yeah, zoom lens, you know, works just as well. You know, it's not really a rule, but an exception, I guess, in this case. So anyways, yeah, I zoomed all the way out to there. I'm including basically almost about half and half of the horizon line split down the middle. So it's showing the trees and all the dead kind of driftwood in the background on the top half of that frame. And then the bottom half is obviously the river water, and it's showing that mist. But the mist has this nice golden light quality to it still, even though the sun's pretty high in the sky by now. So it's probably about an hour. It's an hour after sunrise, so it's getting up there in the sky, but like it's still casting this nice golden glow that's illuminating this water that's normally very blue water from this beautiful river. But so yeah, it looks really nice overall, I think. And I'm shooting at a very, very narrow aperture of about f20, which, I mean, this lens goes, you can stop it all the way down to f45, which is pretty extreme. I can't think of a case I'd really need it to be that, you know, provide that much depth of field and image. But I'm mainly doing the f20 so that I can slow down that shutter just enough where it creates a nice blur and kind of a more mystical abstractive quality to the image really overall, and the texture of it. Because I could obviously do a nice static shot of the mist and everything, but like I don't feel like that's naturally what I want to do here, because I'm already getting such a deep depth of field. I'm probably going to put that focus on the driftwood and the trees in the background on that top half of the frame that I was explaining, and it's probably going to make it so that's pretty well in focus. So really I don't need the water, because the water's moving and flowing as well. I don't really need that to be in focus, so that's going to just create this nice kind of duality of, you know, in focus and not, and something that's much more blurred. So at least that's what I'm thinking right now. And I am at about a fourth of a second, even going all the way down, slowing down my shutter to about 4 seconds even. I'm trying that out, and that works pretty well. And then ISO 100, of course, as low as I can get the ISO, just like I said, so I can bump up make the narrow aperture and then slow down that shutter, of course. So yeah, there's a lot going on there at play. The settings are kind of different for me a little bit more, stuff that I don't really too often experiment with, but I feel like it's working out pretty well in this case, and so far I've been really enjoying the shots. So at least from this side, you know, that side they weren't working out too well, but as the mist rolls down the river like this and just these kind of waves and swaths, it's really nice to see it. So yeah, I also forgot to mention I'm also using a polarizer filter, just to, you know, make that nice reflective water just kind of go away and make a much more deeper, shallower look to it, and overall rich and darken and saturate the colors, of course. Yeah, so I've been really enjoying it so far, and this has been a nice start to the morning. But you know, as it gets sunnier and sunnier, my motivation is going to be really waning by the time I'm done with this part. So, but we'll check out the rest of the trail. Like I said, it's not too much, but you know, it's still worthwhile to see, I think, and visit and check out. So, and then from there, yeah, we'll just see how the rest of the morning unfolds, and yeah, we'll go from there. So once again, it's pretty cool to see all these different locations I've been to and am going to. They all connect and stuff. It's pretty neat. Since there is the big waterway of the Little Miami that runs through this park, actually just north of here is the Narrows Reserve, which is really cool. And I've done that. I've been there before, filmed a video way long ago. But yeah, it's a really cool place, and it's much bigger than here. But the habitat's pretty similar, just because you are situated along the waterway, and all the hiking trails are pretty much along there as well. So yeah, yeah, there's trails here. There's not too much going on. I mean, like, nothing really. The lighting's just getting worse, you know, as the morning goes on. There's lots of birds. Yeah, lots of bird life going on. Hearing lots of songs and calls, but they're all out of range, and I'm not really in the mindset at the moment for doing any kind of wildlife photography, just because I have been having some pretty decent success with doing those landscape shots of the water down there. So yeah, I think from here I'm gonna finish out this loop. Like I said, it's very, very small, but it's some nice habitat, some nice scenery. Like I said, the nice scenic views of the river itself. But from here I'm gonna go around here, and honestly that might be it for the morning. Like I said, it's a very, very small park, and there isn't a whole lot going on. And excuse me for those geese, they're really loud. But yeah, it's a cool place though. I really enjoy it. And I feel like those handful of shots I got at the beginning earlier, really making this trip worthwhile, which is what counts, of course. So yep, I'm gonna go ahead and finish this trail down here, and see if there's anything else I can maybe photograph. And if not, you know, it's totally okay too. We got a couple shots I think I'll pretty much like, and I hope you do too. So yep, I'm gonna keep going along here. Alrighty, everyone, to conclude today's video, I feel weird doing these really, really small locations. It's been quite a challenge, and overall I've been enjoying it a lot, but it's just something about doing the really small just visits to these places, these different parks and trails, and getting only maybe a photograph or two really to share. I'm used to these big, massive locations and trying to like encompass it in like 20-minute video, and also getting a handful of shots, a variety of subject matter. But yeah, doing these smaller locations, it's a little bit different, but I've been really welcoming this challenge, and like I said, I'm glad I could actually get a photograph or two that I'm probably going to be proud of, I hope. We'll see when I edit them on the computer here. So yeah, it's been a nice location. Yeah, there's quite a lot to it. I almost said there was nothing too special, but you know, I do think every location kind of brings its own kind of flavor and variety to these kind of local areas around me here. Yeah, lots of beautiful sycamores, really lots of old growth trees in general. Yeah, not much hiking though, but it's a decently small trail, and you got the river, which is a nice water natural feature. Brings in a lot of bird life, and just you can try long exposures and other kind of scenic, you know, photographs and landscape shots. So yeah, it's got a lot going for it overall, and it's a place I'll probably check out here and there here in the future. So thank you so much for watching, everyone. Lots of bird life, jeez. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. This has been Millbridge Launch Park. Until next time, make sure to get out here. Thank you.